Hello? Hello? Is this thing on? Hey, good morning, everybody, or afternoon, or evening, in anyone's case. Hi, I'm Joshua, and this is I guess the week daily Delver bonus stream until we finish the game to keep myself, just to always carve a little bit out every day to get something done. Is a useful thing to do. So hey, I'm Joshua. Today is October 30th, 2017, and this again is the Delver bonus stream. If you want to know more about Delver, Delver is a procedural that way. Delvergame.com. Delver is a procedural dungeon crawler with fantasy first-person shooter and roguelike elements. You can find us on Steam in early access for $7.99. Cool, you can hear me. Excellent. Hey, Dakota Schwender, Hawaii. Neil Slichter, Dr. Kegel, Michael, Remake XD. Hello, everybody in chat. Thank you for popping by. Yeah, early access game on Steam. Trying this thing done. Procedural dungeon crawler. We will be raising the price. We're still kind of in flux on what the final price will be. Since I've told folks for a long time on the stream here that it will be $9.99. It will be $9.99 on release, and we may raise it from there. Not entirely 100%. Still trying to figure out what numbers actually mean. Cool. So yeah, Delvergame.com. There's a Humble widget. Humbles your jam. Just do note that the Humble build is behind the Steam build, but you get a Steam key with Humble purchase. Also, the Android build is behind the Steam build. If you can, I guess, pull anything from that is Steam is the latest and greatest version of Delver. Once we release the final version of Delver, here hopefully within the next month or so, I hope, we will be updating our other platforms to include Humble, Android, and we'd love to get an iOS version out there. Yeah, so that's kind of the near future plans. Let me see. Chad been doing any work? Cool. Already up to date. Have we considered a Switch port? Yeah, like we'd love to have consoles, but the reality of the situation is it would have to sell incredibly well for us to be able to afford that process. Because it would involve us basically hiring out a third-party team to port our code, and then we'd have to make adjustments for each console requirements. Then we'd have to pay to go through cert, and hopefully we get through it in a minimal number of tries. Yeah, so there's just right now the cost for consoles is extremely high, and it depends on how well Delver sells, to be just honest with you. If you don't know, Delver is a passion project. There are two of us working on it. We have zero budget, zero time to work on this, so it mostly gets done in our free time, in our off time, when people normally hang out with friends and family. Chad and I work on Delver. I have been working on Delver more recently because I was in between contract gigs. I am back to contract work now, so Delver is taking I'm shifting away from it a little bit, but still focusing on getting the thing finished up. I think last time we were working on silhouettes. Let's just do this. Dungeoneer assets, unique. I think yes. We were working on just good shapes. I wasn't trying to get distracted with actual details. I'm just trying to get good shapes, so I have these cool looking, pardon me, like either wands or scepters or however you interpret them. And I was trying to find some cool shapes for the armor pieces, which I have the helmet and the shield, I think, in a good place. I just used the stock ring. I have a good triangle shaped bow, which is different but cool. Yeah, no, we can't, Michael. We can't just click a button and hit build, and even you can't. You still have to go through quite an interesting process, because until you actually run your stuff on the hardware, you have no idea what you need to fix. I can almost guarantee you, if you are using the new keyword anywhere in your project, you are probably needing to do some work to make your game run correctly on consoles or performantly. Yeah. Cool. So I guess, let me think. Hey, Bluestone, it's good. Elias, thank you for, I think that's your name, if you don't mind me calling you that. Thanks for asking. All right, so I guess let's try to get some good shapes for the rest of this. And this can probably just be like just like just a shirt or a coat. Nothing too crazy here. I just want to make sure it has a unique shape to it. So again, just gonna delete half and then duplicate and flip just to get my symmetry, and then take a peek at what it looks like. Edit, transform, flip horizontal. So you, yeah, cool. I thought it was your name, I believe. If you don't mind me using that. I know some people are sensitive about that, and some people don't mind. And if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, because I believe you are German, let me know. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, I think maybe just with some little bits like this might be all right. Again, maybe calling out some sort of, I don't know, like plates around the waist or so. What have I goofed? I think that's right. Yeah, that. Uh, pronunciation is a little bit off, but that's all right. Okay. Yeah, my German is basically non-existent. Yeah. And unfortunately, I think for the most part, the pants really are super similar. Like it's really hard to like. There's no good silhouette differences for the pants. A lot of them just rely on texture. There are some small shape differences, but not a lot. Hmm. Mm-hmm. On the shield, maybe thickening that up a touch. It is roughly based off of like a Greek Trojan style armor, but not adhering to too too much to it. And I think what I'm gonna do with this armor is um, basically I'll make it the best armor in terms of armor to speed ratio, but it won't necessarily be the strongest armor, if that makes sense. But I do want to keep it interesting. And again, if something just fully outright replaces one other thing, then it's not a terribly interesting decision to make. Yeah, so I might just have to live with the fact that the pants just aren't going to be terribly interesting to look at, which I guess I've made my peace with. Transform, flip, horizontal, make those live over there. Actually, let me just do this just to make sure. I mean, this is basically what everything is. So Control C, Control V, line them up here. Yep, that's pretty close, right? Yeah, do that, and then actually, let's do it the other way around. Let's go into here and delete this, and nope, and then in here, and then just fill this here, and for the time being, just kind of even out the profile. Yeah, that's correct. Cool. Okay, and then I think I can afford to make the armor probably just a little bit bigger then. I could probably... There we go, then maybe... Yeah, that might be too much like that, but the width, most of the width they do just a touch wider, so we can do that. There we go. Cool. Skyrim Imperial armor, interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna try to go for like a bronzy look. So we'll see if I pull it off. Okay, that seems reasonable. We still have this one staff to worry about. And we still have a bow and these amulets to worry about. Maybe the amulets won't be so bad. Maybe I can just try to, again, focus on cool shapes and let that lead. Because right now the existing amulets aren't super interesting. Where's items? Where, yeah, they're just a little pendant. I could spice them up just a little bit. So let's just lasso select this and delete it, and then just make some shapes. Triangle is always a fun shape. Pretty easy to do with pixels. That may work. Again, trying to just kind of go for readability. That may work. And then maybe I'll have this one curved. Like for some odd reason, I like the curve like that. I have no idea why. I've drawn both of them that way, like the little whoop. Maybe it's just like the way that my hand naturally goes. It's kind of this just a swoop. And in fact, let me try to adjust this so maybe it should fall more like that. Again, just trying to make his swoop feel nice is all I'm trying to do. Just try to have nice line work, which I think is okay. Then I can position it a little bit better on the sheet. Something like that should be fine. And maybe clean up this swoop here. It's not feeling super great, so let me try to rework some of these pixels to feel a little bit nicer, I guess. Yeah, that'll be all right, I suppose. Okay, and what's another good shape for this one? Because the existing ones are circles. This one is nice and big and different. Hey, Javier. How are you? I could use some pattern, like some sort of symbol. I want to avoid religious iconography, but maybe some sort of like kind of go off this the three-prong thing from the mage thing. Maybe that would be okay. I don't know. Again, I'm recreating that general triangle shape, so maybe I should avoid that idea. Cool. Let's look at images. Magic necklace? Is that a thing to search for? I'm really worried that it's going to be inappropriate. No. Some of them have like little, what are they called? Diadems? Diadem. Kind of, yeah. Or a little vial. That might be interesting, is having some sort of like little captured stone or like a little relic kind of hanging off the that might be interesting, and it would be just a capsule shape, right? That would be somewhat straightforward to do. Again, just trying to have a nice swoop feel in there. And then maybe have something like this to help sell the whole vial thing. Yeah, I feel like all I'm doing is just squinting into the camera, so apologies if it looks a little weird today. Just trying to have cool shapes. Yep, that should work. At least I'm making forward progress. So I have melee stuff done. I have this bow to animate and detailing on. I need another bow shape. My bow shapes, I think. Do I have a bow sheet or no? I think they just live on items. I think they just live down here. So yeah, we have a traditional short bow with a little that. We have a very boxy composite. We have a couple of different recurve shapes, another longer straight shape. The new one has this triangular shape, and then I have this really crazy recurve shape here. And this one's basically like a short bow with some detailing on it, which is probably okay. Um, just trying to think of this a good shape for my last bow. String should look something like that. Then it needs to have some sort of cool shape. Maybe something a little bit more rectilinear, where it still would be potentially functional. Because my concern is that I don't want these to be so like silly high fantasy that they don't actually like they wouldn't even actually work. Like a lot of fantasy bows tend to have like weird armor pieces or like knives attached to it, and that just doesn't really make sense. So I'm trying to avoid that. This might work. I mean, it's definitely a different shape. This needs to be thickened up a bit, but I think we might have something I can live with. Yeah, let's just go ahead and just kind of bulk up the overall shape of the bow. Okay, maybe the best way to do this is that. That may work. Yeah, that might be okay. Again, maybe just do a little bit calling out right here. I don't know if I like that little. Well, what if I? Did something like this, and just move the string up. Let me just redraw the string because it's that, or that may work. That may work. Hey, Rick Dreesen. That might have to be okay. Just let it lie. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's do marquee selection and just delete that. And call our bows good. Amulet shapes are cool. Armor shapes are cool. Still missing a staff shape and a couple of ring shapes. There might just be rings with jewels on them or something. Nothing too elaborate. Yeah, so I guess I can just knock out animating the bows real quick. Let's do that. So is there a better? I don't know if there's a better one or not. Let me just do something like this and duplicate that and then turn off this layer and just start no thank you, NVIDIA. Oh, what's going on here? Okay, I use the same gray as, yeah. let's do it a different way. Let's just see if I can just pick out this first arrow here. So something like that, like that. Okay. That should be my arrow. And clean up around this bit. Work quickly with a large brush. Try to work smarter if I can. Really quickly, just too much. Actually, what I think I can do now is maybe this one. Control J to duplicate it, then just create copies of it real quick. There we go. Now I can delete that layer, and I have just the arrow being drawn back. Since it's always the same for all the bows, it makes life a little easy. Then I can just nope. Apparently, with the new version of Photoshop, I keep there we go. It keeps wanting to select multiple. Like when I used to be able to do like a drag pretty easy with the move tool, and it seems to be selecting multiple layers now. I'm not sure what's going on. Well, I try to keep an eye out for when folks pop in. I don't know if that makes you famous or not, but I try to say hey to folks that are in chat. Cool. Yeah. Okay, so we have the arrow positions, and now we just need to kind of figure out what the bow is going to look like. I can get rid of the string because that is quickly just done with the line tool. I always worry that I don't give myself enough room for how these bows deform. Like, yeah, sometimes I move do I move the actual handle or the grip of the bow forward, I think? No? Maybe, usually I give myself a little bit more room for the deformation, so let's try that. So with these bows, let me just kind of nudge them this direction. So I just have a tiny bit of wiggle room. I'm just going to do it super gross, and then we'll clean it up. Delete. And let me just make a lasso because I think it's going to bend like right here. So let me just make this selection. Just hit Control T and then drag the pivot there. Then just pull it back a little. Yep. Ugh. Okay. Yep. And okay. Maybe make a selection. T, Control T, and then drag the pivot. Maybe here-ish. Keep snapping there, even though I don't want it exactly there. But maybe here will be okay. Maybe drag. No. Let me change my. Oh, Photoshop's opening up windows in my Chrome now. Awesome. Yeah, there we go. This Control T. No. I swear I know how to use Photoshop. Maybe bend that down a little more, nudge it in. Yeah, that's super gross. And then maybe finally, Race. Okay, maybe that'll look all right. Let's hide that. Then really quickly. Oh, I wish there was an easy way to do this, but let's just Control J, edit, transform, flip horizontal. Control T, and then rotate. Negative 90, I believe, is what I want. And then I can position this, I think, there. Should be correct. That. Merge that down. And the same thing here. Yep, I think that is also correct. Merge, and lastly this one. Control J, edit, transform, flip horizontal, rotate negative 90, and position this like so. Okay. Nice. Then I turn this on, and then I'm just going to something like this, and then just holding shift, just do some real quick line work here. It doesn't have to be super beautiful. And mostly because this is gonna be so close to the camera, you might not even see the string. You'll see just parts of it usually. Okay. And then let's do the same process for this bow, and just kind of imagining where it would bend. So let me grab half of it, pull it down 32, hide the arrows, erase the string, and then yeah, just do a lasso selection like this. And I think it would bend somewhere about there. This is getting super grody. Last that. I think maybe we want to preserve the shape of this right here. So okay. Merge that down, and then maybe kind of clean up how this is deforming. Okay. And similarly, just fix this real quick. Air, I think is right. Should be against that. I think that's correct. There we go, that's correct. And -90. And shimmy that on down. Oh, arrow again. And just really quickly adjust the string. Little dog? Okay. Something like that should work. And then I guess let's just merge this all down. So, oh, why'd you lose that? Save as ping, unique.ping, save, yup. Then we could spawn in these new items and see how they look in the game. I actually haven't played any Delver today, so that's shame on me. Shame on me. So again, I'll keep testing with the controller just to make sure that things are nice and working for that. Okay. I can just kill myself, go back to the camp, and we can spawn in some stuff, which will be fine. Die. Yeah, that was a good run. I think I had a magic sword and a magic shield, which is handy to have. All right. So here we are at the campfire. Let's spawn in. Oh no! Oh no! Ranged arrow. Grab that and a uniques, both 3. Grab that and K uniques, bow 4. Okay, and this is a reasonably well lit area, so let's put that up there and this one right there. Okay, so yeah, that feels okay. I mean, you know, granted the arrow animation is actually what's doing the most work, but that's okay. That is perfectly fine, I think. Nice. Okay. Cool. Those actually feel all right. Magic skull. Oh, Coward's excellent skull cap. So it's not super excellent after all. Cool. That seems to work well enough. Let's. Is this saved? Save. Oh, it is saved. For some reason, it wants to save it as a. Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. So let's close that. No. File. Open. Recent. Unique. There we go. So let's commit these changes. Add this. More work on unique. Cool. Oh, getting definitely closer. Oh man, way closer than I have been. Hey Javier. For the new spell effects for the weapons are based on item mods, or do they have set per JSON? I think you can just set the shader. I believe. Um, mm, yeah. Oh wait, yeah. So here it is. So yeah, if it's determined by the enchantment. Um, so shader I think is a property. So I think you can manually set the shader property, and that should be fine. So you should be able to set it to one of the new fancy ones, and this should always work, I believe. Let's try it. Let's try setting it on one of my uniques. Let's try just setting a shader to magic item. So let's go into our unique or our item or items.dat. Let's look for unique. Here's our bow 3. And if I just put in the shader property and give it the value of a magic item, let's just see what happens. All right, let's kill myself. Because I guess I could have spawned a new one, but I guess the takeaway is that all your saved items are serialized into the save file. So updating the definition will not update the actual item the player has, which is kind of a guard to prevent stuff from breaking underneath the player in their save files, but it also makes development a little tricky. So uniques in bow 3. Yeah, so that is perfectly fine. So this bow now has that particular shader on it. Even though it's not enchanted. And it should still do all the right things. Ranged 1. Yeah. So just setting the shader property on it should be sufficient, Javier. Where did my arrow go? Yeah. That one broke. Boo! Okay. And you may be able to write your own shaders. I'm not entirely for certain. I think they live in assets shaders. And as long as you provide a vert and a frag implementation, it should be fine. Yeah, because we have magic item. Yeah, that should be all right. I think magic item red white are these. Oh, actually, maybe not. Maybe I'm not quite sure how Chad has them defined and if they are moddable or not. They might be worth goofing around. But this might not actually be hooked up until the final version comes out. To be honest with you, I don't think it might be. It might not be in the current version. Let's do that. Yeah. So basically, if the shader is null, so if you set it manually, it won't overwrite it, which is useful to know. Bow 3 and bow 4 are a step closer to being done. And I still need a cool staff shape for this fella. Because we have like a crescent and a trident pitchfork shape here. Here we have like these crossbars, which are kind of cool. I'm just gonna create a new layer so I don't have to worry about undoing. I can just kind of scribble in this layer. But I thought like a circle could be cool, but I think that might be riffing too much already. We already have like a crescent, you know? That might just be like riffing off the same kind of themes. I don't know. Yeah, now I'm just going to be scribbling. That's all right. Oh, and the word I couldn't remember from yesterday was partisan, which I believe is a looks like a sword and a spear had a baby. Triangle at the top and bottom, maybe. Maybe. I mean, this is the end you see the most, so I think that's the end that needs the most love, as it were. That almost look like a broom. Get the old magic broom, swap things with. Um, things I learned, partisan, right? Yeah, because if we look at a images, partisan weapon, weapon. I guess partisans are probably a type of halberd. Yeah, they look interesting, right? It's mostly like it's pretty it's pretty big on the like a wide blade side of things. Um, yeah, looks like is it the Swiss Guard? Yeah, kind of a spear, kind of a really broad-headed spear, I guess. Um, maybe something simple, maybe like a fixed crystal with some sort of like spiraling thing coming like down here. May work. The silhouette's all right, I suppose. Can you explain your drawing technique to a newcomer? Oh man, oh man. I don't know. Like right now, I'm just mostly focusing on interesting silhouettes because we have a good number of items already. So I want to make sure that the ones that I create are just differently shaped. Like if we look at weapons, where, wah, swa, melee. There we go. Yeah, I just want to make sure that they have unique shapes. So most of them do have unique shapes across the board. The hammers look kind of similar. I mean, like it's weird. You want them to be unique enough to be identifiable, but you also want them to have like understand that these are the maces, these are the spike maces, these are the hammers, even though they have different sets they belong to. Just like the long, medium, and short swords, or dagger, short and longs. But right now, I'm mostly focusing on shapes, so I don't like get all like crazy like freaked out about the actual details of a thing. Sometimes I start with like more of a detailed drawing, but I don't know. Lately, I've been in kind of a funk trying to get these like in a good spot. So I've just been mostly focusing on these shapes. Yeah, I think that's all right. So let's just merge that down and save it. A Hermes looking staff thing. Maybe. That has a name too. It is yeah, because that's the Caduceus. Yeah. That's the name of it. I think it's used for doctors. Caduceus. I still think it's used in modern day stuff or something. Maybe I'm wrong. Da, da, da. Okay. So I've been using gold mostly to call out my uniques, so maybe I should continue that. Maybe Silverhorn can be silver, that's fine. So maybe like this bronze color with gold like trim. Yeah, let's I guess start jumping in and trying to work out some of this stuff. So I guess since these are staves, I'm going to go ahead and give them a wood color. So I'm just going to just look at some of the other assets I've done and pull wood off of them. Like this wood handle here off this mace has all the wood colors I could want. Let's go into uniques, and I'm just going to drop this on a layer here, something like that. I mean, that's too wide, obviously, but I can use this as a reference, and then we can go from there. Just make a new layer real quick, and I can kind of just copy paste this for all of my stabs. And this actually may end up being too narrow, but we'll see. I keep hitting the F key, even though I'm not trying to. Yeah, let me thicken that up just by the one. Delver, most of the items do have like a nice stocky weight to them. That might require me to thicken this up a touch, though. We'll see. Maybe not. Maybe leaving these thinner is okay because it implies it's a smaller shape or a larger like these are not to scale to one another. Maybe that's okay. Don't want to do that. Ugh. Yeah. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah. This gives me more room for shading. I don't know. Yeah, I've used patterns on almost all the other wood bits. I just don't like the straight up color of it by itself. Even on the maybe I should just make grips. That would maybe solve my problems. So for example, if I were to say transfer the style of this green one down here, what would that look like? So something like this. Let's do the dark green, which is probably a blue actually. And then this green, just like that. There we are, and then this dark striping, like maybe like that. Right. And then just kind of pick out a highlight. Maybe these top two are okay. And this really bright color, maybe I'll just save it for like just a few and not the entire length. That may work out okay. And again, picking this a little bit out in gold. Going back to the I don't. Maybe this isn't. Maybe this bit isn't green. I am not sure. Yeah. So Neil Sichter says it might be on ambulances, and I think you might be correct there. I know I've seen it around somewhere. Hey, Tijani. Sure, I'm not sure how to correctly pronounce your handle there. Yeah, I feel like these are so narrow. I'm having a hard time getting the amount of detail that I would like. But thickening them up makes them feel significantly smaller, so that's the other issue that I'm seeing. Climb that up there. And then this can be a whole mess of magic crud. think is the technical term for it. Okay. I think some of these the wands are actually affixed, maybe. Let's look at the wands. Yeah, so they have usually have some bits kind of looking like they hold the stuff in place. Maybe it's okay to have something like this to kind of imply that it's held. I don't know. I'm making it up as I go. Maybe this should feel like it's recessed. A bit darker. So this was red. Maybe these are the blue. Again, I may need to rework my colors, but we'll see. I'm just lifting from the existing stuff right now. I'm just trying to make stuff gel. Actually, let me just go ahead and pull this window over so I can kind of reference how I did my wand shapes. Tuck that up there. And then, yeah, so this one tends, yeah. Something like this. Outline on the edges. Down the middle. I call this tip out. I have some lighter pinks that I use. I think I have a lighter red that goes here. This might even be a different color red. Yeah, it is. Interesting. Okay. And then these similarly probably should have something, a similar effect. They're so much smaller. Makes my life hard. I can bulk them up, I suppose. Let me just try to add little bits here and there. And it's not a lot of trying to slam a lot of detail into an area that's not very big. No worries. Uh, I try to work in people's feedback, but I know there's no guarantee that I will, if that makes sense. Let me make a new layer and then see if I can, if I make these bigger, does it look weird? Just to give myself a little bit more wiggle room with kind of the rendering of this. We'd have these kind of, that sort of thing. One would come like this. Yeah, I think Again, it's kind of losing. Yeah, too much. That may be okay. Yeah. I may be able to live. I may be able to live with this. Just need to figure out a good color for the handle, and then maybe have. I was thinking about maybe having some way of doing like a multi-spell thing, and that would be cool to have this do both fire and ice, and that would be fun, and that would hopefully require minimal engineering, if none. We'll see. What if I went with the black instead of the green? Maybe that's a better approach. So yeah, like this, that. And then this is just dark green. And that would be just light bits. That might be all right. Red and green are contrasting colors. Yep. Train to Troll says, does Chad ever stream development or talk about it? Nope, Chad does not stream. Yeah, I don't know if I'm really liking that or not. We'll flatten it and save it and see. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll just flatten it, save it, and we'll call it a day. Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, I might have to rework the thicknesses on these. I'm not sure. Okay, I think I'm out of time, so I need to get back to my work, my other work. But yeah, thank you for hanging out with me. This has been my Delver Week Daily stream, where I work on Delver stuff over my lunch hour and talk about it. You can follow me here on Twitch or at Twitter at Joshua Skelly. I'm a Twitch affiliate, so if you want to throw a sub my way, I would love that. I consider subscribing to me basically like a tip jar, so if you want to do it informative, entertaining, or you just want to see more of it, please feel free to subscribe. If you're a Twitch Prime person, you get a free one of those every month. Feel free to throw it my way. There are little things for my subscribers. I do have a Discord server that I talk about what I work on. So Delver plus a few other projects are there. There's a community show and tell channel, so folks are showing off the cool stuff they're working on, because I am, I guess, blessed to have really talented viewers who are also developers. You also get the pixel stick emote too, which you can slam everywhere just by subscribing, which would be cool. All right, I will be back tomorrow at noon to work on more Delver stuff. Let's get these uniques finished up and off my back. All right, folks, have a good rest of your day, and thank you for hanging out. Bye.